Hi there, this is Gareth from Build Smart Projective, and this is the second video from our tender series, and this is what to tender. Now there's two phases to this. There's the first phase, which is tendering your package to the designers, and the second is tendering your package to the builders, and they're two very different packages. So tendering your package to the designers, the key elements on that are putting together your design brief. Now we've covered design briefs in another section, another series of videos, but also another ebook. We'll put a link to that in there as well, so you can download that if you want to. But putting your design brief together is critical. It will hold all the information that you need to be able to give to your designer what you need, what kind of design aesthetic you need, all your likes, your wants, your critical needs as well within the building, what it's got to deliver, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, garage and so forth. All those bits and pieces will all be within your design brief. Also you need in there is what your timelines are going to be. When are they going to need to deliver their designs by, and so forth. So those are the key bits of information that you're going to need within the design side. And have a look at the other ebook as well, because that'll really give you a lot of help, and the link will be in there. When putting your brief together or your package together for your contractors, that's going to be a lot more information. You'll get a lot of help usually by your designers as well. But putting that together, you'll also have your design brief in there. Always keep that in there. That's your guide. You always refer back to your design brief as well. But you'll have in your tender documentation, which will be a series of documentation that's produced by your designers as well, based upon your design brief. But you'll also have your program in there, your predicted program, when you want it to be built by and so forth, what your timeline needs to be in there. So I'm going to read some of my notes as well, sorry, but in there you'll have your framework of your costs as well, so that these aren't actual costs that you've had done, but how you want your costs set out, so that every contractor comes back, they set out their costs hopefully in the same way. It makes your life a lot easier when you come to comparing each contractor as well. So you can compare like for like, apples for apples. Makes your life a lot easier later on. The other one is the time scale, and that's not just when they're going to complete the job by, but when they can start the job by. We've had a lot of clients come to us as well when they've got everything looks good, everything else, and we've analysed their contract. That's all great, but we can't start for a year. And that's not going to work for our contract, or not work for our clients. So that's also been a problem for a number of people. And then sometimes we've got the other way, where they have to start within 60 days, or otherwise there's penalties on their contract. So you've got to look out for bits and pieces. So stipulate that in terms of your time frame to mobilise for work and physically carry it out. Then there also needs to be the commercial incentive. What's going to work for the contractor? Is the contractor's there to make money as well. They're in business to make money. As much as you're there to get your job done for as fair a price as possible, it's got to work both ways. If it's completely unrealistic, they're either not going to put the tender into yourselves, or they're going to put a ridiculous price in just to price themselves out the market, or unless you agree at some ridiculous price anyway, which is nobody wins. So you'll also have your building control or building permit drawings, your program of work, any site-specific issues. For example, you might have a building regulations requirement that says you can't work at certain times of the day, or there might be some natural element on the site that you have to work around. I did a site a long time ago in the UK where there was a badger's nest near the end of the garden. We had to work around that, had to do some relocation and so forth. Things like that, they need to know about it. If you don't let them know, it'll only come back to bite you later on. There'll be lots and lots of costs involved. The planning and the development permissions, that should be in there as well. And then any other legislative requirement, struggle with that word, and that needs to be in there as well. So put all those bits and pieces in there together, covered by a letter of when you want the tender returns back by. So give them a decent amount of time to do it. If you can give them 4 weeks, that's great. Try and give them reasonable. Don't send it out and say you've got 2 weeks to do it. you might, one of those weeks they might be on holiday. Be aware about what the times are as well. Sending a tender out for a 3-week tender return at the start of the August holiday and so forth, it's not going to help you, and you'll either get an unfeasible price back or no price at all, and it's just not going to help. So that's the general gist of it. I mean, the goal is to get a true representation of what the price will be in the market at the time across a broad selection of tenders, so that they should all be pretty reasonable within the prices. So you're picking the best person to do your job. You shouldn't have too many highs and you shouldn't have too many lows. It should be reasonably average. So let's hope you get that back. These will help. We're developing an ebook as well. That's virtually there, and we'll after the end of all these videos, we'll put a link to it as well, and you can download the ebook. Hope that's been helpful, and we'll get the other videos uploaded soon. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.